Baddies, babes, and gents, I am your host, Wisdom's Daughter, and this is Bad Girls Talk. And we got to talk about this fool, Shannon Sharpe. Okay? Listen, Shannon, we told you so. Baby, I don't listen. I don't know how many different ways, okay? But we told you so, okay? Katt Williams told you so. Monique told you so. Hell, even Bow Wow tried to tell you about these snow bunnies. All right. So we're going to get into that because honestly, Shannon Sharpe might have had this coming. Okay. I'm going to tell y'all my honest opinion because they're calling it a $50 million shakedown. And based on what I've seen, yeah, it's definitely looking. Homegirl was like 25K per cheek. Okay. Well, damn. 25,000 per cheek. Okay, turned down a $10 million settlement and was like, no, now I'm going for 50 million. I wanted 50 bands, but now I want 50 million. Anyway, point is, we try to tell y'all. I don't know what's going on, but this is a warning for black men who love snow bunnies. Okay, we gonna talk to y'all about these snow bunnies, and hopefully you can learn from your boy Shannon Sharpe. All right, again, I'm Wisdom's Daughter. This is Bad Girls Talk. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel while the intro plays. All right, everybody, before we go any further, let me go ahead and greet those who are first in the room. Jam is here. She says, hi, I am here for it. Let me hurry up. All right, Jam in the building. Thank you so much for being here, Jam. I am Mrs. BB is in the building. She says, hey, WD and everybody. June's Poetry is here. Says, hey, family, making a run. Be back in a minute. I've got Courtney, Rachel in the building. Snoopalicious in the building. Say, hey, mods in chat. We got Didi Phoenix in the building. And I see you, Leo Lady 251 in the building. Say good evening, Queen, and hello, everyone. And I see you, Special K. Good evening. And the Funeral Duchess. All right, y'all are in the building. Thank you so much for being first up. There's been a lot of talk about Shannon Sharpe. There's been a lot of talk about this lawsuit. I want to have a deeper conversation, okay? Because as you saw in the title, Shannon Sharpe should know better, okay? There were so many warnings. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and hear from the Queen herself.
You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that fourth round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's going to get your energy back up.
A few moments later.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown.
Listen, you think, Shannon, Uncle Shay Shay, you think it's a shakedown? You're just not figuring that out. You didn't figure out that it was a shakedown when this girl asked you for $25,000 per cheek? Okay, and we're gonna talk about what all that's about. 25K per cheek. We're gonna get all into Shannon Sharpe's business. Okay, we're gonna look at the text messages between them two. I went onto this girl's Instagram. I took a few pictures of it because I don't even know if I could show some of the stuff that she has on her Instagram. Okay, you think, but here is where I want to start. Okay, I want to start with why Shannon Sharpe is in this situation in the first place. Okay, why is he getting shaken down for $50 million? Okay, and she's not the only one trying to shake him down. He's been in situations like this before. All right, I'll be doing a follow-up video digging into his past because I found some things that I didn't know. Shannon Sharpe is a Pro Bowl Hall of Famer. Okay, he is a retired NFL tight end. He's had a very promising career. He should not be in this situation. It's something about these athletes, y'all. These athletes. Yes, I said athletes. Okay, it's something about these athletes. All right. So let's listen to Shannon Sharpe because he's going to tell us why he likes a particular type of snow bunny. Okay. And we're going to get into all that. But let's hear from the horse's mouth. Let's see what he got to say. Okay.
The older women trying to shame older men in the picking them. Because, see, that's the competition. Older women ain't the competition with older women. It's them young ones.
Right.
It's them young ones that cut.
Yes.
That'll do what you want.
Yeah.
It's them young ones that cut that'll do what you want. Okay. Red flag number 1. Let's keep going.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm independent. I pay my bills. I pay the cost to be the boss. You the boss by yourself. Them old young one coming with it. They coming with it, Ocho.
Look here. They show is coming with
trying
it.
to shame older men.
They show is coming with it. They coming with $50 million lawsuits. That's what they coming with. Okay. Shannon Sharpe. Boo boo. They coming with the $50 million lawsuit. Okay. And got you over here apologizing to your family and carrying on. That's what they coming with. So Shannon Sharpe likes them young. Okay. He likes young white girls because they're easier to control. All right, let's just keep it real. And this is what I'm going to do just so that I don't forget. Let me go ahead and drop the call-in link because I noticed some sisters up in here. And there may be, and when I say sisters, I'm not just talking about Black sisters. I just mean women in general. I'm sure there's some women up in here that definitely got something to say about this foolishness. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the call-in link now so that it is there. And I will pin it to the chat in just a moment. But getting back to Shannon Sharpe. So he likes these young girls, okay? Because they're easier to control. You can get them to do whatever you want, right? So Shannon Sharpe is pretty much, he's admitted to, he's into the pay for play. That's what he's into. Well, that's what you get. And right now, homegirl is saying, yeah, I didn't get what I want. So you're going to give it to me one way or another. Hang on one second. Let me go ahead and pin the call-in link to the chat in case you guys do want to call in. All right. He has an issue with older women because older women can't be controlled. We got our own money. We got our own, our own car. Many of us own our own homes. All right. So you're not going to control us with money. That ain't something that you're going to do. Okay. And forgive me, for whatever reason, I am not able to access this back part over here. So I'll figure out what's going on. But anyway, so that's the first part. Okay. That's where Shannon Sharpe went wrong right there. The second thing is he likes these young girls. But here's the thing, Uncle Shay Shay, with these little young girls that you like so much, they don't want to work. Okay. We need to stop calling them snow bunnies. We need to start calling them snow dogs. Okay. Those of you who are pet owners, y'all have at least one freeloader in your house, right? And if you have a dog, your dog takes frequent naps. They lay on their back. They don't pay rent. They don't buy no groceries. They don't cook a doggone meal, but they looking to be fed. They looking to be rubbed on, loved on, hugged on, all of that. Okay. What's going on, Galatians? These young girls are no different, right? They're looking for somebody to take care of them. They're looking for, somebody who's going to pay all their bills, pay for their plastic surgery. They're looking to have a baby, right? Why do they want to have a baby? Why? We're going to come back to that in a minute. Okay. We're going to come back to that in a second. This is what I want to do next. For those of y'all who are just coming in the room, we're going to hear from Mo one more time, and we're going to hear her full advice. This is what Monique said to Shannon Sharpe just recently. And then we're going to hear from Katt Williams, right? So we're going to hear from all the people that spoke to this man because he thought this shit was cute, right? Getting with these young girls that are barely legal. This young lady that's suing him for $50 million, I think she was 19 when they met. She just turned 22. Just turned 22. Or she had a cake with a 22 on her Instagram. So she is very, very, very young. All right, Monique, what you got to say?
To us, this dating thing. Mo is different now.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
Are you trying to say what you trying to say? Mo?
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at your
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me live my life.
Let me tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cake. Make some smothered turkey wings. Who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I do.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old.
Well, he didn't listen to that advice, but he should have. Okay. She said you need to get you somebody your age, basically. That's what he was told. He needs to get somebody his own age. Okay. Instead of messing with these young girls. Now, it's cute, right? So you can get these young girls to do whatever you want them to, because they figure if they give you what you want, they're going to get what they want, right? The problem is they're very tit for tat, and that's what happened with this young lady, this young girl that's the one. And let's take a look at her for a second, and then we're going to get into what Katt Williams said. All right, here she go. This is her. Here's another photo. All right, this is another photo of her. All right, here she go again, with her feet all on my damn ceiling. Okay. This is the young little girl that Shannon Sharpe was messing with. Okay. Now, does she look like she worth 50 million? Does she look like she worth 25,000 a cheek? We gonna come back to that. Anyway, because that's what she asked for. And when she didn't get that, now it's 50 million. Yeah, okay. And let me just be clear. I don't know what happened between them two. Okay. She is saying that they did have a consensual relationship, but what she's also saying is that somewhere within that consensual relationship, he was having her to do things that she really didn't want to do. Now, did she tell him no at that time? I don't know. Okay. But Shannon Sharpe is big as hell. He is a big man. This little girl looks like she weighs barely 90 pounds. Okay. Let me just put her picture up there again. All right. Looking like Harry Potter, a trans version of Harry Potter. All right. He's a big dude. And apparently he's into things like race play. That's a no-no. Apparently he's into choking. All right. It gets real cute at first. Okay. But it ain't cute when these girls want your money and you don't want to give it up. And now they're using that against you. June's Poetry said young girls are unpredictable as to societal norms. I have experience from a white girl in her first conversation with me. My biological clock is ticking. Boom. Okay. I cannot tell y'all how many of my guy friends have talked to me about these young girls. And it seems to be primarily young white girls, especially young girls that are coming from, families that don't have a lot. They're looking for a come up. The first thing that they want to do, and this happens a lot in the military, the first thing they want to do is get pregnant. Okay. Yes, I said old girl was looking like a trans version of Harry Potter. I did say that. I'm just saying. Yeah, she looked like a man. I'm just, it is what it is. Yes, Monique is a whole damn fool, and so am I. All right. Love Blue said he sounds so ignorant talking like that. He's old enough to know better and do better. He's 56. Okay, let's just put this into perspective. He's 56 and she's about 22 right now. He's like 37 years older than her. That is a huge jump. But young girls are easier to manipulate. The problem is this is not just any young girl. And we're going to see from her Instagram. Okay, there are people calling her an S worker. Okay, she might have an OnlyFans somewhere. Baby girl was looking to be taken care of. Okay, this wasn't, one of those where you going to use her and abuse her. No, she was looking to be taken care of. All right, so we're gonna hear from Katt Williams. And we're going to start at the beginning. We're going to go through the text messages. We're going to look at some of the other warnings from other. We're going to go through the whole shaboing boing to figure out, not that there's a whole lot that we got to figure out, but really to do a deep dive on why this man is in the situation that he's in. And the sad part is, he should have known from the beginning that he was with somebody that is a shakedown type of chick. Okay, he should have known. That's his type. That's what he likes. So when I say snow bunny, I'm not just referring to white women. Some people use the term loosely to refer to all white women. All white women are not like this, but these young girls, okay? Because in the Black community, we call them gold diggers, right? We usually, when we hear the word gold digger, it's usually referring to a young Black young lady who's looking, like this one right here. This is Brittany Renner. And she has now since joined the Nation of Islam, but she was with Shannon Sharpe for a little while, and she made it known, like, look here, this costs, okay? I'm expensive. So that's what he liked. That's what you get. Let's hear from Katt Williams, because Katt Williams' warning was probably the most replayed or shared or retweeted, whatever you want to call it, warning to Shannon Sharpe about these white women, okay, these young white girls. And he's very clear in his thoughts and feelings as to why he does not, he has no interest in doing all of that. All right, let's hear from Katt Williams.
That was my only goal. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
Come on, Katt.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that. And remember, I told you the drug story from when I'm in the park.
Yeah.
So these are just the things. I had all of those when I came in. I already was ready for that. That's what they don't like.
All right. So there you have it. There you have it. Katt Williams was like, look here, not that I have a problem, but even Kang the Conqueror, that was, I believe, the role in the Marvel movie that Jonathan Majors was supposed to play. Okay. He lost his whole career. Okay. Now he broke code, but we know the code. They say once you go Black, you don't go back. Well, you got some men that go white and then they go back to Black. And old girl found out that he was texting a woman who we now know was Megan Good, and she wasn't having that. Chased this man down the doggone street for blocks, hollering and screaming. Okay, he's running away from her. She's running towards him, but she's the victim. For real, that's what they do. Anyway, Katt Williams warned you, baby. Okay, he warned you. He told you that they can take you down in 2 weekends. Okay. I don't even think it took 2 weekends to take down Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe was about to do $100 million deal for 5 podcasts, including his show that he does on ESPN. Well, ESPN did not ask him to step down, but it was basically, he was voluntold. Basically, he didn't have a choice. He did not have a choice but to step down from ESPN. Okay. Was this worth it? Was this worth losing your whole career? You saw what happened to Jonathan Majors. You saw what happened to, now, I know y'all gonna come for me in the comments, but it's a fact. You've seen what's happened to a lot of these other athletes. You saw what happened to O.J. Simpson. Okay. Now, aside the fact that, unfortunately, that relationship ended very, very badly with Nicole losing her life. But the point is, he was her come up. What did she have before him? These girls, listen, can I be real? Can I be real and not offend anybody? These snow bunnies do not go for Black brokies. Okay. They don't go for Black men who are broke. They go for black men who are successful, who are athletes, they're ball players, baseball, basketball, football, hell, even soccer, tennis, golf balls, okay? Actors. That's what they go for, right? So it's not just, oh, well, no, it's just love. I love a black man. We love a black man too, right? And so they go after the black men with money, right? And leave all the leftovers for us, which is the trans and the homosexuals. We can't. What can we do with that? The ones that are incarcerated. What can we do with that? Right? We don't mind taking, all the black men that they don't want, because they don't want the ones that are in jail. They don't want the ones that are driving Uber or doing DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff like that. They don't even want the one that has just a regular 9 to 5. They can't do a man that works at Target. No, he need to have a certain amount of money because there's a standard, right? Because they're looking for a come up. That's what these girls do. All right. Okay, hopefully this is not going to be an issue with YouTube, but I'm going to bring up her Instagram, and I'm just going to scroll through it really, really quickly, just to give you some context into the type of person that we're talking about. And I'm not trying to say that because she might be an S worker, an Instagram model, OnlyFans model, that she could not have been violated, but you gotta look at it in context. And when we go through from the beginning and listen to some of the conversations between this young lady and the text messages between this young lady, you'll kind of understand why many of us are like, yeah, this is definitely a shakedown, right? All right, here is this young lady's Instagram. Let's just start there, okay? And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. I'm not trying to discredit her. I'm trying to put things into perspective. So let me just share my screen. And let's just take a look at the young lady in question. Okay. Now I said I'm gonna scroll through like real fast because she got some stuff on here that I don't even know if I can show. Okay. So this is her Instagram. Okay. This is it. All right. This is the picture I was telling you with the 22. And she says it's my birthday. She just turned 22 years old. This is what Shannon Sharpe likes. Okay, here's a safe picture. I can leave it on this one. Okay. It's giving naughty principal. Okay, it's not giving nice, wholesome young lady who, just wants to be with a man 40 years older than her because she just likes, like, really? I can't. I'm trying to give this young lady the benefit of the doubt. I'm really trying. It's not easy though. All right, let's start from the beginning. Okay, here's an article. I believe this is one of the first articles that came out about Shannon Sharpe. So we're gonna take a look at this article right here. Let me just get my screen situated. Sorry, y'all. I'm still trying to figure out all the nuances with StreamYard. All right. So this is one of the first articles that initially came out, maybe about a week ago, right? I want to say it was about a week ago. All right, let's take a look. All right, so this young lady, the young lady that we looked at, okay, she, as a matter of fact, let's put one of her pictures on the screen. All right, this is the young lady, because people are popping in and popping out. All right, this is the young lady that we're talking about. Okay, and maybe let's see. All right, it's fine. So Shannon Sharpe was accused by the young lady on the screen of forcible sexual assault. Okay, she's saying that he forcibly essayed her. All right. They might have been in a consensual relationship, but at the time that it could have been consensual when I walked in the door, but we all know the minute a woman says no, it's no. So she is now accusing him of forcing himself on her, and she's seeking $50 million in damages. What happened to taking people to criminal court? Right? We don't do that anymore. Apparently we don't do that anymore. we don't, there we go. We don't take these men to criminal court anymore. Now it's, you know, you gonna pay and you literally gonna pay. Right? That's what it is now. That is like the new culture. These young girls are real different. Okay, this Gen Z, Y, X, whatever it is now, I don't even know. These young ladies are different. Okay, so now they're like, no, I'm not taking you to court to have to spill all my dirty laundry just for you to get 2 years plus time served and like 6 months of probation. No, not. I'm not doing that. You just gonna pay me. Now you just gonna pay for my pain. So initially, she identified herself as a Jane Doe. We now know that she is her name. Well, she goes by Carly, but her name is Gabrielle Zuniga, and she claims that she met Shannon Sharpe at a gym, and we know she works out because she got pictures in Los Angeles in January of 2023, and that Shannon Sharpe relentlessly pursued her because she is so hot to trot that he had to relentlessly pursue her. June's Poetry said, ain't no money in criminal court. Oh, what's going on? Good trouble? Good trouble. Grandpa Shannon is in trouble, big trouble. This is not going to end well for him. I'm hoping that with whatever evidence he has, he has enough evidence to prove that this is a malicious attempt to extort him for money, because when we say shakedown, we're really talking about extortion, right? And shout out to all of my mods. Thank you guys so much. Anyway, so he relentlessly pursued her. That is what she's saying. Okay. Now I'm gonna read you the text messages between these two so we can see who relentlessly pursued who, because I think that's really interesting that the court documents use those words. Okay, relentlessly pursued. So she was, I said 19, excuse me, she was 20 years old at the time, and that would make sense because it was 2 years ago. All right, and again, she's alleging that Shannon Sharpe called her, he texted her, demanding her to come to his Beverly Glen mansion, according to the lawsuit. This is the problem with these young girls, okay? Because what a grown woman, good trouble, a grown woman like Leo Lady 251 and Good Trouble, all right, and Galatians 251 and so many others that are on, you ain't making us go a damn place. You can't make me go anywhere. If I don't want to go, I ain't going. It's that simple. I don't have to go. For what? I'll go if I want to go, but I don't have to go, right? Was he able to put a weapon to her head through the phone to force her to come to his place, or was she coming because she was looking for that money? I'm just curious. Anyway, so that's what she is alleging, that he demanded that she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. And because she's only 20 years old, she doesn't understand that he could demand all he wants to, okay? He could demand the sun, the moon, and the stars. You ain't got to go, okay? But because there is an incentive, which I'm not going to give that away. We're going to read in a moment what the incentive was. So she revealed in court documents that she and Shannon Sharpe were eventually involved in a consensual relationship. Eventually. Now, I don't know what that means exactly. It's relative, because is she saying that he pursued me relentlessly and then eventually we became involved in a consensual relationship? Or is she trying to say that he forced her at first and then she decided that, okay, even though I didn't want you to do this, we could do this now. I don't understand what this means, that they were eventually involved in a consensual relationship. Or does that mean that they were talking, dating, seeing each other, going out to eat? She was, visiting him at his house every now and again, and then they entered a consensual relationship. I don't know what it means. But she's claiming that she suffered from controlling and verbal abuse, and that's why she needs $50 million. Okay. There are families that have had their loved ones tortured, battered, beaten, and abused at the hands of the police and did not get $50 million. Don't you think 10 million is enough to pay for controlling and verbal abuse? I mean, she was only with this man for 2 years. And it was only after she demanded something from him. She gave him an ultimatum. And when he did not want to fulfill the ultimatum, well, she was like, okay. Now it wasn't consensual. The whole relationship was not consensual. Some part of it was consensual, but some part of it was not consensual. And I'm suing for that part. He demanded complete control over her time and body, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule at his demand whenever he calls, is what attorney Tony Busby wrote in the lawsuit. And we know that Tony Busby is known for representing countless plaintiffs who have been coming forward with essay allegations, some of whom have recanted their stories, changed their stories, withdrawn their lawsuits and other things. Okay. Including, I guess, most recently, Deshaun Watson in early 2021. There was let me just read this. So, well, they're saying he's famously known for representing more than 20 plaintiffs who came forward against NFL quarterback Deshaun Watson in early 2021. Okay. I had a conversation. My son plays football. Okay. And I don't know what the future holds for him, but he plays football. And, you know, he is an athlete already. Okay. He lives in a town that is predominantly white. That's just where he lives. That's what his school is like. That's what his environment is like. Okay. I had to have a conversation with my son. Be careful. Be careful. All right. And it doesn't matter what race they are. Be careful about who you are messing around with, because these young girls are slick. Okay. And these snow bunnies love them some athletes. So, of course, Shannon Sharpe has denied the allegations. He says that this is an egregious attempt at blackmail. The lawsuit is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Shannon Sharpe. Tell me something I don't know, for millions of dollars. Okay, they said this is Shannon Sharpe. His story is that it's lies, distortions, and misrepresentations that's not going to succeed. Okay, so that is kind of where this started. Now, here's some other information with these allegations. Again, he's 56 years old. Okay. She's claiming that she was terrified after getting into an argument with him, that he was yelling at her with a firearm visible in the room. Okay. He didn't draw. He didn't hit her in the head. He didn't, assault her with it. It was in the room. She's alleging that he grabbed her by the back. How do you grab somebody by the back? Y'all help me out. He grabbed her by the back. If somebody can figure out how to grab, now, you know what? Okay, see, maybe if she was a little thickums, he might have been able to grab her by her back fat, but this little girl right here is just skin and bones. Grabs her by what back? Like, I don't understand what that means. He grabs her from the back? Whatever. She says he grabbed her by the back and threatened to unalive her after he noticed she tried sharing her location with her friends from her iPhone. Shannon Sharpe saw her doing this allegedly. In the moment, allegedly, he realized what she was doing. He grabs her by the neck. I thought he grabbed her by the back. Well, which one is it? Is it the neck or the back of the back of the neck? I'm not following. Allegedly, he told her, if you ever do that again, I will effing unalive you. That's what the lawsuit said. Okay. And she also says that despite this violent incident where she was so afraid for her life, where he threatened her by her back or the back of her neck or by the neck and told her that he's going to unalive her, she continued their relationship What the what? Look here. wait a minute. Little girl. He grabbed you. He grabbed on you. It don't matter which body part. He grabbed on you and threatened to unalive you with the weapon in the room, and you go back? For what? Unless you like that kind of thing. Okay? Or unless you have an ulterior motive. Unless you are just putting up with any of his crap and all of his crap because you're trying to get some money. And you figure whatever he does to you, you could use that as evidence later. These little girls, they ain't stupid. No. But these black men that's running after them, real stupid. Yeah, real dumb. She set him up lovely. So she continues the relationship. That didn't scare her enough. They were only together for 2 years. It's not like you with somebody for 10 years and you have one incident and you like, all right, you lost your mind for a second, but I know you for 10 years. It's not like you. It's 2 years. Like, really? So she continues the relationship, but she attempted to break things off, is what she's saying, after he embarrassingly went on Instagram Live while engaging in relations. Okay. We all know, we heard about that. And I have a short, I don't know if it's on this channel or Wisdom's Daughter. I have to check, but you know, for those of y'all that low nasty, I have a short with the audio for those of you who never heard it. Basically, Shannon Sharpe had a young lady over his home, and the phone was on the bed, and it activated his Instagram, and you know, whatever he was doing, some part of his body or her body hit the live button, and we basically heard him doing what he was doing. And ain't nobody want to hear that. Ain't nobody want to hear that. But anyway, that was last September. And they said 3.3 million followers could hear his moans and other comments in the video. But he wasn't with, you know, Gabrielle or Carly, whatever name she wants to go by. Her stage and her pseudo name is Carly. Anyway, she's claiming, so this happened in September. Okay. She claimed in her lawsuit that after this incident, she tried to break things off with him, which she's alleging led to him R-ing her. That's what she's saying. In October of 2024, she's saying that he forced himself on her in her apartment as she cried and sobbed. Now, that part is really interesting because Shannon Sharpe is known to not go to women's houses. And he tells this story. All right. I'll share it later if you guys want to see it. But he shares a story about why he doesn't go to women's houses anymore. Because there was a time where he went to a woman's house and they were doing what they were doing, and her man came in. He didn't know that she had a man. All right. And the man pulled his weapon on him. So, and he got out of there with his life unscathed. He was very apologetic and he got out of there, but he said, no, never again. So what was he doing at her house? And he don't go to people's houses. Anyway, okay. See, when you're going to make up a story, you got to do your homework. You got to do your homework. But when you only been messing around with somebody for 2 years, you know, that's not a long enough time to know somebody. Anyway, so she's saying that happened in October, and then there was a second incident in January when she claimed that he came to her house with promises of delivering Christmas and birthday gifts for her. However, he allegedly SA'd her again. A woman, and yes, the lawsuit states, and, you know, hands down, a woman can say yes 100 times. Okay. Or in this case, the lawsuit is saying 99 times. But if she says no even once, that no means no. We know that. She could have said yes when you walked in the door, but by the time you got on the bed, she changed her mind. No means no, period. But is that what happened here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So Shannon Sharpe is accustomed. This is what they're saying. He's accustomed to getting what he wants, and he completely fails to understand this basic concept. Or is he accustomed to being with young girls who will give him what he wants because they want his money? I'm just saying, which one is it? Sonia's White Muscle t-shirt in the building said, yep, white girls always play the long game. Never forget. You know, this is historic. This is nothing new. I'm so tired of seeing successful black men taken down. But again, the title is he had it coming, and not to say that it's like saying he brought this on himself, right? And he kind of did, because you're old enough to know better. You play these games with these young girls, this is what happens. This is what has been happening, historically for how long? Okay, we all know the Emmett Till story, young boy looks at a white woman or whistles, and that turns into he did touched her or whatever the case may be. And this young boy lost his life in the worst possible way, in the worst torture to death. We've seen it, all these Karens that are real quick to, cry victim, right? And I'm not saying all women do it, but let's just be clear. A lot of white women, that's what they do, right? So soon as they don't get their way, or real quick, hollering and screaming through the street, help me. Like, come on, he should not have been in this situation. This girl was way too young for him. After many months of manipulating and controlling the plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, well, that's her fault. What was she doing with this man that's 30 some odd years older than her? She's saying that he repeatedly threatened to brutally choke and violently slap her. Now, I'm saying we heard. I'm going to play the audio in just a second, okay? Because he is heard saying, you know what, if you say that again, I'm going to choke the hell out you. I say that all the time. I have said on my own live, like, if somebody did something to me, I'm going to beat the brakes off of you. Sometimes it's an expression. I don't think he was actually threatening, right? They do this race play, this what do you call it? Like role play stuff. So was this a role play situation that she's taking advantage of? Okay. I don't know. But apparently he's, she's claiming that he repeatedly threatened to brutally choke and violently slap her. Okay. He threatened. Okay. Sharpe refused to accept the answer no, and argued plaintiff despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. I mean, was this an R fantasy? Because let's be clear, there are some women out here that do have fantasies like that. I don't know. But allegedly this occurred in Nevada. Okay, I thought he was from Los Angeles. How is this happening in Nevada? All right, that is the first article that came out. So let me switch gears, all right? And let me do this. I'm gonna be moving around a little bit, so y'all just bear with me and stay with me, okay? Yeah, let's look at this one. This article. This article is from Blast Magazine. So apparently, it says that Shannon Sharpe previously offered assault accuser at least $10 million to settle the case. Okay. And then we're going to hear from Shannon Sharpe. Because first he's making fun of, older women, and primarily older Black women, because when he was mocking, like, oh, I got a job and I got my own money, he was making fun of older Black women. Well, if you were with a Black woman closer to your age, you wouldn't be in this situation. According to Shannon Sharpe's lawyer, the Hall of Fame football player offered his accuser $10 million before she officially filed her lawsuit. Okay? $10 million? You was just asking for 50 bands last week. He offered you 10 million. You could have just walked away with 10 million. No lawyers involved, got your money, boom, bam, bip, done. But no, she want to be greedy. So during a press conference, Lanny J. Davis, Shannon Sharpe's representative, provided more clarification surrounding the $50 million lawsuit. And of course, now we know her name is Gabriella Zuniga. All right. Let's go to his Instagram. And for those of you who didn't know, he played for the Denver Broncos, okay? And offered this young girl, this 22-year-old, $10 million. But she figured, no, I can get more than that. And I don't know if it was Tony Busby that convinced her, But according to this, it says he offered her 10 million before she officially filed the lawsuit. So I don't know who's in this young lady's ear, but baby girl, you should have took the 10 million because she's probably going to end up with nothing. She's probably going to end up with nothing now. All right, let's go to his Instagram. All right, because he got a whole bunch of stuff on here. He got a whole lot to say. All right, hang on just a second because I'm trying to get it from the beginning. Let me see if I can get it from the beginning. All right, so I'm gonna wait for this to start over, but hold on a second, and then it's on mute, and then we'll hear from him. Let me move this young lady out the way. I'm sorry, but you know, all I'm seeing is an opportunist. That's what I'm seeing. That is what this looks like to me. It looks like, you know, it looks like somebody's taking an opportunity. All right, let's see where we're at, and I'll just replay it as I need to.
The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day.
All right. So that's what Shannon Sharpe had to say about his take on what happened with this young girl. That's his take on it. All right. He is basically saying, listen, this is a shakedown. We all know Tony Busby's reputation. All right. Now, apparently they're upset at him that he mentioned this S tape. Okay. Because I guess, you know, they hadn't planned on mentioning it, or they were going to mention it later. And now I'm hearing that they are not going to release the tape. They said that it has a lot of incriminating evidence, and that evidence is going to be played out, I guess, during the civil suit or trial, whatever it is. But they're not going to put it out. And I guess they're mad because Shannon Sharpe got on top of it and is like, listen, since you want to put out clips, if you're going to put out this video, put out the whole thing. All right, let's go to these text messages. Okay, now I'm gonna warn y'all, some of this is a little bit graphic. Some of this is a little bit graphic. All right, but this is from Shannon Sharpe's Instagram. So apparently she said to him in one of the messages, and I'm going to abbreviate where necessary, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me. This is what she said on October 7th, 2023. I want you to put a dog collar. I said we need to start calling them snow dogs. I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're scoring me. She also wrote to him, I know you miss this big juicy booty, 25 for each cheek. Wow. 25 for each cheek. This lawsuit filed by Gabriela Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney Tony Busby is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. In her effort to extract a large financial settlement, Ms. Zuniga presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of a consensual encounter. Now, it's interesting because I could have sworn I read somewhere that she accused him of secretly recording her. So she secretly recorded one of their encounters and is trying to use it as blackmail. She presented Shannon Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of a consensual encounter. We believe the video has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. Because remember what she said, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're, right? While you're giving me the boom boom. So if that is on the tape and they edit it, it may look like it was not consensual. She might have been doing the yes, no, or the what we call the no, yes. Y'all men know what the no, yes is. No, come on, what are you doing? Stop. No, yes, no, yes. Y'all know what the no, yes is, right? Or was she role playing with him? Because if you're role playing with somebody and you record it, how would anybody else watch that and know if it was real or not, right? Shannon, you just got yourself into a mess. We told y'all about messing with these young girls. You thought it was funny. It ain't funny now, is it? Miss Zuniga has refused to provide a copy of the full unedited version of the recording to Mr. Sharpe's legal team. To set the record straight, we are releasing several of Zuniga's own explicit text messages to Mr. Sharpe that clearly indicate the nature of their relationship and indicate that the nature of their relationship was consensual and actual in nature, and in many cases initiated by her with specific and graphic requests. Contrary to the allegations she makes in her lawsuit, consensual acts continued until January 2nd, 2025, the day after she asked for $25,000 per cheek, as quoted above in her text message to Mr. Sharpe. There are other examples of text messages. Let's look at those. She said, now this is taken out of context, but apparently she texted him, only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever. Then I guess she was supposed to say you. This is a typo. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then you can do whatever you want to me. Okay? So if you inseminate me, then you can do whatever you want to me. But I'm shaking you down for $50 million because you assaulted me. Make it make sense? That was text by her on November 3rd of 2023. Here's another one. I want to put my tongue in your bunghole and then marry you. Okay. Shannon. We told you so. That was on January 12th, 2024. Okay. Here's another one. That's my daddy. Okay, I'm trying to make sure that I don't say what I can't say on YouTube. She said, that's my daddy, F-U-C-K. I want you to put a big black baby in me. Okay? She's trying to entice him into getting her pregnant. Why do you think that is? Why do you think she might want to entice him into getting her pregnant? Is it so that she can later leave him and get child support? Because she could probably get 2, 3, 4, 5 million. I mean, she could a month. Okay. She could probably get 50 million a year out of him. You see the setup. You see what these young girls do. And these men fall for it, young and old. All right. And in the moment, it sounds sexy. Right? Yeah. Okay. He should have got up, and at that point, he should have got up and left. Anyway, but he probably thought it was cute. All right, August 6, 2024. You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. There we go again. There we go again. Let me ask y'all something. Y'all seen these pictures? Does she look like mother material to you? Does she look like somebody who has any desire to be a mother right now? Okay? I don't see it. I really don't. I don't see a mom right here. I see somebody that's trying to use their body to make money. That's what I see. This is not someone who's just like, I want to be married, I want to be a mom. All right. That's okay. I'm gonna leave that up on the screen. Shannon Sharpe, you sure know how to pick 'em, boy. Okay. Then it gets, I guess they're saying that the messages are graphic. This is just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic actual communications initiated by her. The evidence paints a clear picture that it was a consensual adult relationship that included role playing. There you go. Actual language. There you go. And fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Ms. Zuniga. Shannon, she set you up. She set you up. She was setting you up from jump. Okay. We're gonna Bow Wow has some really good advice for you. We're gonna listen to that in a second. The edited tape that Ms. Zuniga secretly taped and showed to Mr. Sharpe during her blackmail attempts to falsely, I'm sorry, let me read that back. The edited tape that Ms. Zuniga secretly taped and showed to Mr. Sharpe during her blackmail attempt tries to falsely portray, as a result of this editing and out of context from prior text messages, that the actual activity was not consensual. See, they like to role play. She's going to have a very hard time, proving that this was not a part of the role play. That's why when you role play, you have a safe word, because when you role play, no doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't, right? And if you don't know enough to have a safe word, then you shouldn't be role playing. You don't know what you're doing, okay? She barely out of college if she went. Mr. Sharpe believes her secret taping was all part of her plan set up as part of her blackmail scheme. As distorted by her edited tape, a copy of which she refused to make available to Mr. Sharpe or his counsel. He categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially of the gross lie of grape, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. Okay, so he wants to do due process and all of that. Now, some people are asking, if he didn't do anything wrong, then why was he trying to settle? Why did he offer $10 million? Maybe because he wanted to keep some of this secret. Maybe because he didn't want all of his business out there. He already had audio out there of him, in the boom boom room for everybody to hear. All right. Let me go to, here we go. So there's another article that I'm going to share with you guys. All right. And it's literally called, this is TMZ put this out. It's literally called We Told You So. It's all type of videos going viral where we told Shannon Sharpe, leave them alone. Leave them girls alone. But anyway, let's take a look. So yeah, we already heard from Monique. All right, so I'm not going to play that one. We already heard from her. Listen to what Bow Wow had to say.
NBA and NFL players getting, IG models pregnant, OnlyFans chicks pregnant.
Yeah, but they dumb though. Yeah, they dumb though. See, the girls know they can always get a nick that's 2 years into the league. Fresh out of college. Come on, man. You know how long these been following these Instagram girls and probably been DMing them, and they probably been left on scene. They get that 100 million, that 200. They got it. They going for gold. Just because they got that money, that don't bypass who they really truly are. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, the ball players want to be rappers. They really want to be. They listen to our going into the arenas, rapping like us, they dressing like us, they, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, they way more greener than getting a rapper. Athletes is the easiest to get. That's why you always see them get caught up in shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, God bless them, man. Them niggas tripping, man. You made your first 200, you ready to give them 50 a month for 18 years? Come on, man. Got to be more careful.
Now, I don't know if this young lady heard, because you know how people they love to tell their business, their dreams. They always tell their plans and what they're doing and whatnot. I don't know if this young lady heard that he was about to broker $100 million deal with CNN. I'm not really sure, but this is not looking too good for her. Now, let me just give you a little bit of context. After Shannon was heard on live last September, because remember, he's supposedly dating this girl for 2 years. For 2 years, she's been asking him for a baby. Okay, he's been curbing her left and right. All right, he's hitting her with the mean curve. Let me just stop sharing for a second. Hitting her with the mean curve left and right. All right. Then she, of course, the whole world found out about that, you know, what happened with him. So now she knows he's messing with somebody else. And she basically tells him, well, how are you going to make this up to me? And he's like, all right, I'll give you 50,000. Right? I'm going to give you 50,000. Now, when she show up to the crib, he's like, well, look, I got 10,000 cash. She like, stop playing. Where's my 50 bands? Stop playing. Where's my money? Right? And she's like, all right, it's 25. Like you know, you missed this. It's 25,000 a cheek. Like, let's go. She didn't get the baby. She didn't get the 50 bands. So now she's sold for 50 million. Mm-hmm. It ain't funny, but you know, I'm laughing because, like I said, Shannon brought this on himself. Yeah. She wanted a way to get money, hands down. Snoopalicious said she kept going back though. She was not that slow. Yeah, she was going back for that money. Okay, she might have thought about it. Like, all right, he might choke me up a little bit. You know, I might have to do things I don't really want to do, but that money. All right. Leo Lady said, WD, that's right. My name says it all. Yep, Leo Lady. Demand. She says, my name say it all. Don't demand me to do nothing. That's why he date babies. Exactly. He dates these young girls because they're easy to manipulate. All right. And we're gonna hear from her in just a minute. Yes, white girls always play the long game, never forget. And again, we're not trying to say that all white girls are like this. There's a certain type. It's this type. That's why I'm putting her pictures up here. It is this type. Okay. Shannon Sharpe, she played you. She played you. She got videos, you know, of you and audio of you. So the second she don't get what she want, she can cry victim. Why would you put yourself in a situation like that? Right? And Leo Lady said, money, money in my OJ's voice. Look here. He listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire, and she over here listening to Miley Cyrus and Britney Spears. Come on, it's a huge age difference. Kelly, she said exactly. She a hoe. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. She's not a looker. Oh, y'all going in. Y'all going in. She is not somebody that he needed to chase, is what I'm saying. This man got money. He can get with anybody. Shannon thought she was young and dumb, but she had a plan. If he thought, yeah, she had a plan for his ass. She set him up. She set him up lovely. All right, let's keep going. Let's get to the audio. Let me see if I have it up here. I have it up here somewhere. Let me close out some of these screens that I don't need. And we'll listen to, because when I heard this young lady speak, I was like, ain't no way. I mean, just listening to her, she sounds slow, but she's not. She's obviously not slow at all, okay? These young girls come out of high school. I don't know if she went to college or not. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But they come out of high school with a or come out of high school, college with a plan. Hold on one second. Here's another warning. Let me just play it. I'm gonna play a few more. I'm gonna play a few more, and then we're gonna listen to her. They come out with a plan to find, and I'm gonna say a sucker, right? Because here's the interesting part. This is what's interesting to me. Shannon Sharpe might have thought that he was controlling her because he was getting what he wanted out of her. But how about really she was controlling him the whole time? And I say that because she was getting what she wanted one way or another, right? Either she was going to get pregnant by this man or she was going to find a way to play victim so he can pay, right? She's using her body to manipulate this man. So while he don't want to be with an older woman because he can't, the kind of things he can do with these young girls, an older woman may not necessarily go for that. And again, an older woman to flip you the bird, okay? This young girl, and she said he demanded I had to be at his house at a certain time. But listen, why put yourself in a situation like that? You think I could not have been with a millionaire if I wanted to? I don't want to be with a man that has that much money and thinks he's going to use that to control me with it. That is the flip side of it, right? You get with one of these Instagram models, you're going to pay to play. It's going to cost you. But at the same token, you put yourself in a situation like that. Now a man is paying for your time. You're nothing but a high price hoe. Here is, hold on one second. Here's another warning. All right. I don't know if I could play this music or not, so that's why I had to mute it. But he's basically saying if she under 24, it's a no. Okay? There's another warning. Let's look at this one. Dr. Umar says he will stand with Shannon Sharpe against his accuser, Gabrielle Zuniga, or internet persona Carly. I stand with Uncle Shay Shay.
Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to stand with you, my brother. Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to stand with you, my brother, on one condition. I'm getting text messages from all over the African universe telling me that Shannon Sharpe was accused of the unspeakable. I'm getting text messages telling me that Shannon Sharpe was accused of the unspeakable. I'm going to stand with my Uncle Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to stand with my Uncle Shannon Sharpe.
Well, how many times you going to say it?
I'm going to stand with Uncle Shay Shay on one condition. Uncle Shay Shay. No more snow bunnies after this scandal.
Thank you. All right. I'm not going to play this whole thing because he's just repeating himself. Okay. Shannon Sharpe, the message is clear. Leave them snow bunnies alone. All right. Listen, it's not working out for you, bro. I don't know what to tell you, but it ain't working out. Just leave them alone. Go on and let it go and leave them alone. All right. Hang on one second. There's something in particular that I'm looking for. You know, he might lose his deal. He might lose this $100 million deal. There's a second accuser. I'm not going to get into her story on tonight on this live. I will do a separate show on that. Something in particular that I'm looking for. Is it here? Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I got to show you guys this. This was funny. I don't know who did this, but it was funny.
Well, what, Gabby?
You're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in and getting choked, so I guess we're going.
I might choke you in public. Big black guy chose small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do what they think you did to me.
That was my only.
I don't know who did that.
Well, what, Gabby?
Hold on. I don't know who put that together, but the graphics on that. All right, let me shut that down. Yeah, that was a good one. I don't know who put that together. That was some of the audio. I think, you know what, let me go back to his Instagram because I believe the rest of the audio is on his Instagram, and it is. All right, it is. So let's listen to some of the conversations that they had. This is some of the stuff that she put out, and then he started putting out his own stuff. Like, okay, you put out stuff, I can put out stuff too. It's interesting because the voice that you hear, forget about the graphics, the voice that you hear on that tape sounds nothing like what we see in these text messages between them two. That is very interesting to me. It's like she's a totally different person. Shannon Sharpe accuser releases purported audio. I'm going to effing choke the ish out of you when I see you. Okay? Because we ain't never told nobody I'm going to knock your teeth out when I see you. Like, you know, I say all the time, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you when I see you. Does that really mean? Anyway.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, like, I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you.
Well, I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
Well,
Well, I don't want to be choked. He said, yes, you do. I don't know what kind of games this little girl playing. I don't know. But what I do know is that Shannon Sharpe put himself in a real bad predicament. What is the appeal? You know, what is the appeal? I really have to, I'm gonna have to call on some of the homies to it may not be tonight. I'm gonna have to call on some of the homies to come up here and talk to me for real. What is the appeal with these snow bunnies? Because just the fact that I've heard many black men say, yeah, I give me a white girl because they let you do whatever you want. No, baby. They don't let you do whatever you want. They're gonna allow you to do some stuff, but they want something in return. And 9 times out of 10, what they want is a baby. That's what she asked for. She didn't get it. Right? That is what she asked for, a baby. And I find it real interesting that last September, first of all, she says that he was violent with her, but she continued the consensual relationship. Then she found out he was cheating. And she's claiming that when she tried to walk away, that's when he assaulted her. He assaulted her twice, but then she's asking him to put a baby in her several times. I'm trying to help me out here. And then just a week or two ago, she's like, well, how are you going to make this up to me? All right, 25,000 per cheek. That doesn't sound like somebody who is frightened. Shannon was arrested in 1995 and 2004 for battery. Yeah, I will be doing a part 2. Maybe tomorrow night, we'll see, where I'm going to be going through some of his past relationships, because Shannon Sharpe got some secrets, y'all. Okay. Now, what he did in the past still doesn't mean that he's not being shaken down, right? We don't know. It could either be that it could be both, right? It could be that he figured since he was giving this girl money, he could do whatever he wants. The reality is that S work is real work. I mean, it still goes on. There are people who sell their body and their talents for money. The danger in that is that the people who are paying are not really paying for their time. They're paying for the use of their body and those talents. And oftentimes they will feel that because I paid you, I can do whatever the hell I want to you. And that is not necessarily the case. So this could be a situation of poor communication where, she's role playing with him and she's asking him to do these things. And maybe he did get angry and choke her a little bit, But was it really assault? Was it the heat of passion? Was it role playing? Did she like it? Did she not like it? She didn't like it. Did she tell him where? I mean, she did tell him in that one instance, well, I don't want to be choked, so I guess we're going. You don't have to go anywhere. Did he come to your house and drag you out your house? You don't have to go. She want that money. You can't have it both ways. You can't manipulate a man and tell him in nasty messages to do something for you, and that he's giving you all of this money in exchange for his ability to use your body, all right? And then because he doesn't want to give you a baby, or because he's cheating on you, you want to use that to now say, okay, now I was assaulted. So because it can't be both. So I don't know. And the sad part is, yes, Shannon Sharpe has a past. And I don't want to give it all away because we're going to talk about that in the next video. And so that's why I said it's not a good look for him, because he has had some issues with stuff like this before. But just like how a woman can say yes 99 times and say no one time, and no means no, a man could have had issues in the past. Doesn't necessarily mean that he did what she's accusing him of this time. She says that he pursued her. What we're hearing is evidence that she was running after him. She had a violent incident, 2 violent incidents, and she still ran back to him. She's talking about she wants him to put a black baby in her and carrying on and whatnot. That is inviting trouble. That is definitely inviting trouble. And again, if he did do this stuff against her will and it was not role playing and he got mad and did something to her, well, that's probably why she's suing. But it doesn't look good for her either. It looks like extortion more than it looks like he did something inappropriate. And that's where it gets a little sticky for me anyway. Let me see if I had anything else. So yeah, there is a second accuser. I'll just show you her real quick. There is a second accuser. Now she is, I'm just going to show you what she looks like. Cause again, I want to cover this in another video. This live is not going to be, not going to be that long, but once again, what is the appeal, right? What is the appeal? And what is this that causes these types of white girls to go after successful Black men and to do this? This is really nothing new. To use them for money, to intentionally get pregnant by them so that they can take care of them. And we've seen this before when, you know, you are prostituting yourself and then claiming assault when this man wants to use you the way he wants to because he paid for you. And there's no clear line between, you know, are you really an S worker or are you just manipulating, you know, this man? You're putting yourself in just a really bad situation to be used. But as I said, Shannon Sharpe is way too grown. And I don't know, I find it a little disgusting that he was with this little girl. And I'm saying little girl because that's what she is. And hopefully he's learned his lesson. Because at the end of the day, you got a whole career on the line. Is she worth it? Is she worth it? Trying to find the second accuser. Here it is. Is that worth putting your all of your plans and everything on the line for some kink? Like, he had no business being with this little girl. None at all. And he might not recover from this. There is always the possibility that he does not recover from this. Here is one picture anyway of an ex-girlfriend who is alleging that he assaulted her back in 2010. So is this another Diddy situation where he has a history of doing this, or has he been putting himself in situations where he could be taken advantage of? Again, I don't know. I don't know. But I know, let this be a warning to Black men who love snow bunnies. There is the potential that you are being used, okay? Because I find it interesting that these type of girls do not go for broke Black men. I said it earlier. They don't go for Black brokies, all right? They're not going to give that same energy to a Black man that's broke. They always go for the successful ones. I don't know what they're being taught at home. Find you a man that's got some money and get pregnant. I don't know, but I just find it really interesting. Don't you think that Black women would like to be with successful Black men? And if you're going to be spending your money, you know, I'm not going to be politically correct here. I'm going to say what's on my mind. And chances are a Black woman closer to his age, he would not be in this situation. He would have had all his coins. Okay, because let's just be real. Culturally, Black women don't ask for much in general, with the exception of the Instagram models. And that is their goal. You heard Bow Wow. Their goal is to seek out. That's why they got, you know, their boobs out, their butt out, and this, that, and the third. Okay. They're using their body to, you know, they're going to use what they got to get what they need situation. But they're also looking for a come up, and they're using their body to get that come up. They're going to go after ballers. They're going to go after, you know, so it gets even more complicated when there's a woman involved, whether it's a young girl or older, because of racism in this country and because of historically what we've seen. You know, there's an assumption that all Black men like women and go after white women. No, they don't. There are some Black men that have a particular taste in what I call snow bunnies, which are women like this young lady right here. these opportunists. And right now, in my opinion, could change tomorrow. This young lady looks like an opportunist. And you may not agree with me, and that's okay. That is okay. I am not saying that she could not have been victimized by him in some way. But why put yourself in harm's way? Why keep going back? And then why be asking for money? Like, I don't know. This whole situation is wrong. But I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Don't go for women like this. Whether they're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or whatever. Okay? You got money, she need to have money too. She need to have her own money. She need to come to the table with something. Because getting with these young girls because you think that you can get them to do whatever you want, understand something, Mr. Sharpe. These young ones, these COVID kids, they're different. Okay? They are growing up different. A lot of them, their mamas were, on social media or on these websites or, running down here to Magic City to, shake their ass for some cash. A lot of them don't have mothers who have a career, who have morals, and it's only going to get worse. So if y'all men out here think that y'all can pay to play and manipulate and she young, I can get her to do anything I want. Okay. It come with a cost. Leo lady 251 said them high. Oh, you said then holler grape. Okay, I thought you said them high rollers. I read it wrong. Right. She says then holler grape. You are setting yourself up to pay to play, right? You're looking for this man to give you money, and you can get it because of how you look, right? And you play the game and you're coy, daddy choke me. Yeah, daddy. You're gonna give me some black babies, all of that. And then you turn around, as Leo lady said, and you cry grape. This has been going on. She says this has been going on with black men for decades. We have to be very realistic about where we are in this country, where we are as a country. Racism has never gone away. It has existed since the founding of the United States and before the founding of the United States. It has existed. Okay? Because one race thought they were superior to another and decided they were going to use the other race to build this country. And now we have people that just want to forget about all that because it makes America look bad. And that's also part of the problem, right? If you don't learn from the past, you're doomed to repeat it. If you like white women, get yourself a good, decent, hardworking, loving, caring white woman, right? Not a snow bunny. That's a snow bunny. So you got what you wanted, right? You thought it was cute, hitting her money up on the side and you was paying for her time. So basically, since you paying, she gonna do whatever the hell you want her to do. Well, she got you by the balls. And it ain't funny. But yeah, I'm one of those older black women that you was talking about, okay? That got her own career, got her own money, got her own house, her own car, right? You can't control me. If I don't want to go, I ain't going. Simple, right? That's not what he wanted. He wanted someone that would do whatever he wanted them to do. They done seen all these females getting a payout settlement, and now more are doing it. This BS needs to stop. And it seems to have really escalated with the Diddy and Cassie case. So now, I'm not even going to file a police report anymore. I'm just going to take you to civil court. I'm just going to sue you. I'm just going to sue you. There are a lot of women out there who have been with men who coerced them into doing something that they really didn't want to do. But that's not really assault. Because unless there was a hard stop, a hard no, and she claims that she was screaming and carrying on, where's the tape? Where's the tape of you screaming? Because she got tapes of every damn thing else. So I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. But what I do know is that he's going to I believe he's going to have a hard time recovering from this. I think so. He may get away with not having to pay her. Like they may deem that, you know, she may end up dropping her lawsuit, or he might settle for, you know, a smaller amount outside of court. But in terms of all the deals that he had, people are not going to be able to just forget about this, I don't think. So players change, but the game remains the same. Listen, don't hate the player, hate the game. This young lady knew exactly what she was doing. Okay, it's called manipulation for a reason. And I've seen it too often, and I've heard it too often from my guy friends about what a lot of these young white girls do. Okay. But guess what? They can only do to you what you allow. So leave them alone, and then you won't have these problems. It's just that simple, right? If they can't get with successful black men, because successful black men decide, nah, I ain't interested, I know what y'all do, then guess what? They will find someone else. Maybe they'll go do it to some successful white men. Go run that ish somewhere else, okay? Go, if that's what you want to do. Black men have it hard enough as it is, and you're going to complicate things because unfortunately race does matter in this situation. So there you have it. Allegedly, there's a total of 23 lawsuits against him. I'm not surprised, Leo lady. And listen, email me whatever you got, because I'm definitely going to do a part 2, because I want to talk about the secrets. He has a lot of secrets. He has a past that a lot of people don't know about, and I want to talk about it. Because again, I'm not taking any one side. I'm just telling y'all what it looks like to me. And to me, it looks like extortion. But it also kind of looks like Shannon Sharpe put him in a position that made it very easy for somebody to claim these things and have receipts that look like they support it. He's got his own receipts as well. So this is going to be interesting. Peace Bruce said, absolutely, you are right. Shannon is running that old game, but she showed him a new trick, baby. That's why they call them tricks. Okay? Stop dating tricks, and then you won't get tricked, and you won't get conned out of your hard-earned money. All right? Shannon Sharpe, anyway. She knew what he had, and she went for it. And that's why these snow bunnies go after successful black men, because what is the purpose of getting impregnated by a black man that live at home with his mama? Or, he's on probation and is probably going to end up back in jail any second. Or he works for Amazon or FedEx, which is not necessarily a bad job, but what can they do? What can the ordinary black man do? Black men, y'all are being targeted. Athletes, actors, successful black, y'all are being targeted. Okay. Meanwhile, there are plenty of women out there that will not do this to you. So y'all need to wake the hell up and learn from this. And Shannon Sharpe, maybe you need to be by yourself, because you said that basically black women that are older and got their own money and trying to guilt you into being with older women. No, we weren't trying to guilt you. We were trying to help you. And that's the problem. Black women want to give to the black man and lift up the black man. We're not trying to take anything from you. That's these snow bunnies. They real good at taking from you. Take everything. Take your career, your reputation, your money, and your pride too. So maybe you need to be by yourself for a little while. This is like the male version of Shirley Strawberry, right? Shirley Strawberry of the Steve Harvey Morning Show became her own Strawberry Letter, the worst one ever. had all this drama going on in her marriage with her husband, who was committing bigamy and fraud and got a RICO going on and SA and child peace stuff and Sodom and Gomorrah stuff and stealing cars, stealing people's money, writing bad checks, stealing from one victim to pay another victim, like a whole bunch of foolishness, right? Even victimized her unbeknownst to her. And I don't understand. I really don't understand why Shannon Sharpe did not see this coming. He saw all the signs and just completely ignored them, right? Completely ignored them. Shirley Strawberry's issue was that she was looking for a man that was going to treat her like a princess, that was going to spoil her and drive her around and give her all of the things. It's not worth it. It's really not, you know? So, but she's smartened up. She got a divorce and she's hanging out by her lonesome. So Shannon Sharpe, baby, I don't know how you're going to fix this. I really don't. But what I will tell you is that we don't want to see no more videos. We don't want to hear no more audio. And we do not want to see you in any more situations like this. He has a great show, very successful. His most successful podcast, Club Shay Shay. He's giving out all this advice. And this is what I mean when I say he's like a Shirley Strawberry. Shirley Strawberry is giving out all this advice, but not taking their own, right? He really thought he was untouchable. He really thought that what happened to Jonathan Majors lost everything. Like, he's never recovered. His acting career wasn't the same. He was going to be in the biggest Marvel movie at that time, right? And for a Black man to have a role like that, talking about big blockbuster IMAX film, all that's gone, okay? Most people, you say Jonathan Majors, then they're gonna be like, who that? So he should have known better. That's all I can say. What's going on, little lady QT said, where have you been? Girl, listen, I am back on both of my channels. I had a situation going on, and that situation, I had to take all my time and energies and focus on that. And so I did not want to be away from y'all that long. But if you listen to some of the lives on Iron Wisdom's Daughter, I talk about the whole situation and what was going on. It was really work related, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But yes, I am back, and you will find me 8 p.m. All right, I will be live on this channel at least twice a week. All right, and the time is 8 p.m. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you got your notification bell turned on and set it to all. So this way you can get the posts that I put up on the community wall, any pictures that I put up, any polls that I do, and you can get notified whenever I go live. So glad to see you back, little lady QT. Make sure you check out the videos on Iron Wisdom's Daughter, because I've been doing a lot of coverage on Nesto. And yeah, so listen, those of you who are following the Ernest Williams story, his pre-trial, well, his final plea is tomorrow. All right, so I'll be covering that. All right, so make sure y'all check in with me tomorrow for updates on his final plea. Okay. Make sure, again, that you're subscribed to both of my channels, that you're subscribed here on Bad Girls Talk. Make sure you're also subscribed to I Am Wisdom's Daughter. All right. 25,000 per cheap. Good Lord. Well, she ain't a cheap hoe, I'll tell you that. Lord have mercy, Shannon. Oh, Shannon Sharpe, we told you, bro, but you just don't listen. You just don't listen. So you made your bed, go on and lay in it, and hopefully he can recover from this. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I am your host, Wisdom's Daughter, and this is Bad Girls Talk. I will see you guys on the next one for sure.
Just can't get enough of how it make you feel. Oh, I understand, but I can't be what you need. How many more lives do I have to till you pick these clues to tell you the truth.
You're listening to the Bad Girls Talk podcast. Subscribe, like, and share.